recognized and valued, regardless of formal education. This is exactly the competence of the ProfilPass, the unique vision of this transformative tool developed by the German Institute for Adult Education. Welcome to our chat. We will share insights from unique experiences with this transformative tool that helps to identify competencies and skills acquired through lived experiences, formal education, and work experiences. I'm Renate BAUR-RICHTER, Director of the Institute for Inclusion and Accessibility in the United Arab Emirates, and I'm speaking with Manuela SCHEURECKER, a ProfilPass user and a catering professional. Just a short word about ProfilPass. You are a huge fan.
That's true. That's true. I'm a huge fan of the ProfilPass because it's just a unique tool to in a holistic and strength-oriented way, to identify the personal strengths and skills for the whole life, not only the job.
That's wonderful. You summarized already the vision of the ProfilPass, and to describe the concepts, I like to use the acronym ACME. So this stands for awareness, consulting, mapping, and empowerment. And when we look at those process steps, awareness and counseling is combined and really supported by qualified consultants with a background in social science or social work. But the beauty of ProfilPass, as you mentioned, is a very self-guided process. So the participant is always in the driver's seat, and this is already a huge part and key success factor of the empowering that is really happening through the process. So we have the awareness and the counseling, and then we have the aspect of mapping, where you will talk about it in a very systematic approach about in most cases between 6 to 12 weeks. Participants in small group settings are working to identify often skills that are hidden in plain sight because they were never asked and appreciated for those skills. And then we have empowerment. And it's all about empowerment, and you have a very, very impressive experience with this empowerment. So to explain this ProfilPass a little bit more, it's more than a tool. It's really validating lived experiences of people with a broad range of abilities. And the ProfilPass initially wasn't really developed for people with disabilities.
Okay.
It was a tool to identify skills from youth, those who are just embarking on their first career decisions, towards seniors who are identifying opportunities for the phase after retirement. And then there's this very special toolpath we are talking about, designed particularly for users with cognitive and psychosocial abilities. Meanwhile, this tool has been rolled out in 6 European countries and now even expanding to the Middle East. So, talking about mapping and the empowerment element of ProfilPass is really important. And to look at your experiences. So, the ProfilPass equips participants with a journey, self-awareness, but at the very end also with a certificate acknowledging their skills and competencies signed by a qualified consultant. So, now to the practice and your very own experiences, Frau SCHEURECKER. You're a true citizen of the world, born in Germany, fluent in multiple languages, dealing with psychosocial fears, you worked across continents as a volunteers. And since 2017, you've been an integral part of the inclusive catering company, an award-winning and profit-making social enterprise, which is a division of one of the most innovative training and work providers in Germany, the Werkstätten, based in Bavaria. So that's about you and your background.
Thank you.
We're really interested to hear about your very own experiences. When and how long did you work with the ProfilPass and their consultants?
Okay, it was, as you said, in a group setting. It lasted, the whole process lasted for 8 weeks. We met every 2 weeks, and we were 6 participants, male, female, young, old, of various work experiences.
When you look back at this group setting, and you mentioned it's individual work within a group, what was the moments you cherished the most through this process?
The moments I cherished the most was how that it started from the small to the large, starting at the personal interest, what gives one joy, that is never looked at elsewhere. It is so beautiful, and that is just in itself beautiful, and that it is strength oriented to think about that. And it's just that I mentioned that is usually forgotten. And then I cherished also especially looking back, that it is in the form of a booklet, that I can always look at it again and again to draw inspiration and also support, and and the process of writing down, that is so important. If you're dealing, if you're a little bit unsure of yourself, that I was, it's just very helpful to have it, to look at it again and again. It's very, very good.
You described very vividly the advantages and the joy really of having this hands-on experience, working on the booklet. Looking back, and it's a very self-guided interaction that you have, because you can decide at which part of your very own journey you fill in those specific questions. There's a lot of self-reflection that is happening there, right?
That's true.
And were you able to identify skills or competencies you acquired through your lifetime you weren't aware of, that were basically hidden in plain sight, always there, but you weren't aware of?
The important thing for me is that there is space for those skills, and that it is that it is space that we, because I knew I did that well, but I never it was very supportive, and what was actually a very good experience, and I think very important for me, was the thing of the 2 lists of the homework.
Yeah, I do remember you told me about it. So there's this element of self-evaluation, right, of your strength
Yeah.
and abilities that you fill in. And there's then always also the element of inviting a trusted source from your very own network to do the same and evaluate the same skills. So, and then you have basically a dialogue between your self-evaluation and the feedback of a trusted partner or supporter. And I think this was what you were referring to, right? As part of the assignments and homeworks.
Exactly.
So, and were there any surprising insights? So you have your own evaluation and then the evaluation of your supporter?
Very much so, very much so. I have and I had much more of a strong tendency to be way too hard on myself, and the homework was the list fill in the personal let's say qualities of strengths in a wide range of the personality.
But were you surprised about the differences between your own self-evaluation and that of your supporter?
Yes, it's very surprising because my supporter evaluated me much more capable and excelling in many fields, and this just is a very important insight for me personally. Very important insight.
It's very impressive, right? And a very hands-on experience that wasn't possible without the ProfilPass, because you had this very deep diving journey towards your own experiences. And just in one word, Ms. Scheureckер, what was the most impressive takeaway, the lesson learned from this 8 weeks program?
The most impressive was the basis is the personal strengths, and it goes a long way, pretty much all in life. So it's the process of writing down, of course, is essential, but this way of looking at a person, of looking at myself, also in the job, and it's just incredible and very, very important, I think.
And you told me as well that the ProfilPass folder is still part of your bookshelf, so it's there, you can relate to it and you can really look back.
That's the other part, and that is one of the gifts from the ProfilPass, because it's sometimes I think I myself too easily go over and think what is expected, but to have it, to look at it again and again, and to draw strength, inspiration, and support, and a tool to draw from it at several times in life. Find
Wonderful.
It very beautiful.
It's really a powerful testament to the transformative tool that the ProfilPass really provides for a broad range of people. Ms. Scheureckер, on behalf of our audience, a huge thank you for sharing your personal experiences and insights with us here in Vienna, and reflecting on those discussions we had at the Zero conference on the future of work. It's obvious that we need new tools responding to those requirements that we're facing. Artificial intelligence, a new way of collaborating. So the ProfilPass offers such a pathway. It's a robust and evidence-based empowerment for the new world of work, and I think you are really an incredible ambassador of the ProfilPass. Thank you, Frau Scheurecker.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm very happy that I could share my appreciation of the ProfilPass and my experience and my